Recently, Video Bill and I had the opportunity to hang out with Kris Keyes. That's right, Kris Keyes. And we got into his brain, and you get to watch.
Why, how old do you know?
30.
16?
Yep.
She knew me when we were 16.
Oh, really? Wow.
Daily contact.
Daily? I got arrested there like 3 times.
I used to do my homework there.
Yeah, I got arrested.
I drove by the daily like when we were looking for a singer and
Dude,
a
I need more
keyboardist for a
light,
death
man.
metal band,
Yeah.
and I seen Tarn and Chris
I gotta
Picasso
take
outside,
this bulb
who
off
are
to get
friends
good
with me
flash.
now.
Yeah.
But I walked in there, and they're like, all looking at me stank-eyed, you know what I mean? I'm like, fuck you.
Who wants a pic and shit?
Get a picture of me and this girl, man. We go way back.
Suzanne! Me and Suzanne go way back.
Nice pic.
How long have you been a DJ?
15 years?
You want a pic?
Suzanne
Yeah, get a picture. Me and Matt go way back, too, man. Me and Matt go back.
Suzanne used to play fucking flute in that band.
Was it flute or skin flute?
It was
Nightcrawler?
distortion.
Was it skin flute or flute?
In a band that was never named
Oh,
and
it's like-
never played.
No, the actual.
The actual flute. Not the skin flute, though.
Not since
As a flute through a microphone with a distortion pedal plugged into the
Awesome,
fucking
really?
thing. Flute, if you ever heard flute through a distortion pedal, Suzanne, you don't want to show it.
Do you remember
Sounds awesome.
the power surge? The blue? The distortion box from the 70s that I was using? It was a power surge, and all of a sudden it made these crazy noises, like in between AM stations, at random. It was great.
still do that?
I'm gonna go see this
Alright.
this guy with
You're a great
stand
flute
pain and
player.
shit.
I was in
Pick you
India.
up in Nutella.
Yeah.
Whose water's that or whatever?
That's mine. I was in India, and I was standing on the
Chris is
Ganges
a
River.
yogi, man. That's what
I know, I was in India on the Ganges River, and there was this guy standing next to me.
Did you get in it?
What's that?
Did you
no,
get in?
no. It's,
I wouldn't
you actually
either.
can get sick.
Yeah, I watched a
So
show.
I'm standing there, but check it out. I'm standing there, and I'm just standing, and actually sort of depressed, man. I had been hit by a truck. I was really depressed. And I was standing there, I was sort of by myself. I was over there like doing some soul searching. Dude, this guy whipped out a freaking flute. And he had his own little sound system, 2 little speakers. And it almost was better than any concert I'd ever heard. They were like this big. And he just started going. It's like, oh my God, it's like a concert.
That's awesome.
It's amazing.
Yeah, Joe over by,
Yeah, I see Joe.
oh yeah, you did. Hey, dude, I'm hanging out.
Are you gonna stay or not?
Nah, I'm gonna get going.
Yo, man, so we just did a concert over here at Joker's Wild Comedy Club. And it was an awesome show, man. Really
Yeah, man, I
nice.
must say, really good fucking show.
Yeah, thank you, man. Come on in, man.
The fucking paint
Yeah.
is really what makes it. Bob, can you talk about that
Yeah, what's
shit?
up with the paint, man? Why do you get painted up for the shows?
I started getting painted my first show when I was like 11, and it's just sort of my thing. And then this was an interesting fact: is throughout my bands, my first band when I was like 11, I got painted, and then in a band called Gargantuan Soul, I started painting myself orange, full body orange, and then I heard later on that rishis or sadhus in India, when they renounce everything in the world, they paint themselves orange. So I think it's like somewhat of a mystical or transcendental thing for me. I really don't like clothes. Like when I walk around like that, that's how I sort of feel comfortable. And so I definitely feel very like I can hide away my sort of mistakes, and I can hide behind that sort of thing, and I can sort of be myself, you know.
I love it.
I like it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, it looks awesome, man.
Thank you, man.
It definitely brings some
I think
showmanship to the.
Yeah. It's also like I think your life, you should always go back to being a kid, you know, all the time. You should always go back to being a little bit mischievous. You know, I was actually just today, I was with my friend Tony Ronzoni, and he was with his kid, and his kid was mischievous. He remember what it was like to be a 5-year-old kid, and I don't think you should ever lose that, man. I think it always, throughout your life, you should always be having fun. You should always be like searching for that kid side of yourself. And for me, you know, this is almost like what you do in 5th grade, and I always want to be a kid, man. I'm definitely, that's why I was so sad when Michael Jackson died, because that's the part of him I could relate to, is that I definitely never grew up. You know, I'm younger than I was when I was young, because I was very depressed when I was young. And you know, I do a lot of stuff to just sort of connect myself with the child inside, and that's what sort of makes me just feel completely young and free, man. And I think everybody, I give this shout out to everybody, pursue yourself inside, pursue that freedom and like letting yourself feel free. All right, come here, man. Matt's got to give a shout out. Give a shout out.
Blind Justice is the shit. Check it out. MySpace.com/Blind Justice. Search it on Google. Fucking find out.
Yeah, that was one of my. That's how I started getting painted. Blind Justice started out with I was sort of this judge. I'd wear like a judge outfit, and then it sort of evolved into the painted guy. And it's just sort of like my natural progression. I've never really been far away from body paint. It's always been sort of like a. It's also when you're on the road, if you're on the tour bus or on the van or in the Winnebago or whatever, you know, a lot of guys sit around, and when you're sitting and waiting in hotel rooms or whatever to do a show, it's fucking boring. And I'm also left-handed. So actually take a paintbrush and paint ambidextrously is really soothing to my left-handed brain. Like it's a very meditative thing for me too. So a lot of times on the road, when other guys are doing drugs or hanging out in a bar or all stuff that I find sort of boring, I would be sort of meditating, doing my paint jobs, man. And like I said, I'm left-handed, and people who are left-handed know it's a pain in the ass because your hand rubs, and I'm definitely have progressed using my right hand when I do my paint jobs and stuff like that. I use both hands. It's really relaxing and very meditative, and I go very like deep, and I get in touch with that sort of like, you know, very youthful, very expressive sort of like I don't know, for me that's spirituality. Performing is like a spiritual thing for me. Like I release, you know, let go and just have a great time, you know.
Yeah, definitely. It's clear in the shows. You know, we've seen you now in a couple shows, you know, in a couple nights, and it's just been very high energy.
Yeah.
A lot of, you know, very theatrical.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, it just exudes out of your performance.
Well, there's one thing. Somebody just came up to me tonight and said they were asking me some advice about like showmanship and about things like that. And I would say,
what? No way. That can't be the end.
It's officialfnradio.com. It's never the end, as long as you
Keep it locked.